Hey guys, what's up? This is episode 7 of the Secret Top 10, and the guest is Sean Donohue. He runs Gator Blade Films. He directed over 10 feature films. He did Die Die Delta Pi. He did the Death-Scort Service. His movies are sleazy and they fill with nudity and gore. He's a Florida filmmaker. Real cool guy. We actually got a chance to hang out a bit at Wasteland, and he's just really like, he's got a lot of charisma. He's funny. He's easy to get along with. So he had a great list. I really enjoyed his list, and I enjoyed editing it. So hopefully you guys dig it. Like I said, these are recorded way ahead of time, and then I come and shoot the intros when I get everything edited to see how it goes and all that jazz and all that good stuff. So let you guys know, almost the entire first season is filmed, all 13 episodes except the season finale, because that will be live and in person. Not live, but in person. We're not, I'm not doing it over Zoom. And then I've actually have one episode from the season 2 recorded. Now these are doing decent. They're not doing as good as the weekly videos, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep doing them. I have a bunch of guests lined up and tons of guests I want to ask to do it, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of them will say yes. So please enjoy the Secret Top 10 episode 7 with Sean Donohue. It's a really good episode. I love his subject. Great stuff. Yeah, check it out. So I'm here with Sean Donohue, runs Gator Blade Films. That's not a California, isn't it? I'm fucking with you.
It's funny because I don't really love the name of my company, but now it's too late to turn back. I really came up with it kind of quick. I was just I used to drink a lot of Gatorade at work, and it just kind of, I don't know, the name just kind of popped in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be good. And then the rest is history.
Yeah, well, I know the feeling. Like mrparka, I didn't expect to make videos. That was just a joke name, and then
That's always confused me. Like, because I'm like, your name's Dave Parker. Like, does he just have like an accent, or like, what's the deal with that?
it was a fucking joke. And I wasn't planning on making videos. I just was like, you go to make the YouTube account, you're just like, fucking mrparka. There we go. And that was the name.
Hey, there it is.
Can't change it. Sean's directed what? How many feature films have you directed? Over 10 feature films, right?
Yeah, we're at. I'm going into my 13th project.
Nice.
So I got 12 under my belt.
Would you say your biggest films are probably the Death-Scort Service movies?
Death-Scort and Dada Delta Pi,
Yeah.
probably two of my biggest hitters.
Yeah, that one ended up in like Walmarts and stuff everywhere, right?
Yeah. Well, two, it came out almost 10 years ago, and things were a little different. I got a distribution deal on that, and you could still get your movies in places like that. Not saying you can't anymore, but it's a little more rare.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I had people like taking pictures in FYEs and Meyer. I don't think I got in a Walmart. I got in a Walmart like .com,
Yeah.
Best Buys. I was in some of those, but that movie reached the widest audience for sure.
Nice. Well, if your movie's not called Amityville or Sasquatch or
Exactly.
Ouija, it's not making it in any fucking stores anymore.
So it's cool to be able to say that, because I mean, like I said, it's a rarer thing now, and I'm glad I did it when I did it, because if I started now, I think it would be even harder to reach an audience.
Well, when you say stuff like that, I think like that impresses a lot of older guys. They're like, "Oh, it's in Walmart. I know what Walmart is. I've been to Walmart." So
Right.
they're like, "Oh, this is a real movie
I'm
now."
still kind of surprised myself, especially now. Like, I mean, you've seen my movies.
Yeah.
Delta Pi is a little lighter, but I got some kind of scandalous stuff happening in there. So the fact that they even, bypass the quality control is kind of amazing.
No shit. So we're here to do the secret top 10. I explained in the opening a little bit, but I'm also going to explain here just again. So essentially, this is a top 10 show, but I don't know the subject. Sean's going to give me a subject. I'm going to have 2 minutes to guess his top 10. He's going to go over his top 10, talk about as much as he wants about them, and then maybe I'll pop in and say what I have to say if I've seen the movies. And then we're going to go to my guesses, make fun of it, and then we're going to do a ridiculous tournament that I chose for Sean.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's super fucking obscure. It's obscure. Like, I don't even know if fans of your movies will know all the references in here.
I might not
Good.
even know.
You will. You will.
Well,
I
we'll
made
see.
sure you will.
Okay,
Um,
all right. I don't know my movies as well as people think I know them, but we'll see.
You'll know these movies.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you Driving Miss Daisy and like the Shawshank Redemption
Okay, all right.
quizzes. You know what I mean?
I really like Shawshank Redemption, by the way.
I mean, I think everybody does, but you know what I mean? I'm not.
Right. I got you. I think I know what we're getting into.
Okay. So let me know if you're going to time me.
All right, I am going to time you. I've got my stopwatch ready. So now how do I do this? I tell you what what the top 10 is, and you just go for it?
You give me the subject, and if you have any like little like descriptions, like, well, these aren't included. Like, for example, Dustin said monster movies, but no kaiju.
Okay, all right. I think I can help you a little bit. So, okay. So I kind of hinted at you, but hopefully, this is a few weeks ago.
I didn't do any research on it, and I kept it in my mind, but I was like,
right.
I'm not gonna cheat.
So, I've seen a few of these where people do top 10s. It's usually, what's your favorite slasher movies? What's your top 10 kills? Top 10 nudity? I really wanted to do something different, something kind of I don't see a lot of. So we're gonna do top 10 movies that feature 42nd Street as the backdrop of the movie. It's not necessarily the theme of the movie, but it's featured in the movie and it plays an integral part in said movie.
Okay.
So I've actually got 11, but number 11 is kind of it's not an official one because when I tell you what it is, I can explain why. And it's the word New York is in the title. I'll say that, but try to do 11 if you can.
Okay.
Every one of these movies absolutely has 42nd Street in it. Most of these movies are made between 1970 and 1995. If that helps a little bit.
Okay.
And it seems like the kind of, I kind of got an idea of what you like, and it seems like movies I'm sure you've probably seen all of them.
Okay. I've not failed once, but here. Let me know when you're timing. I remember I've gotten one. I've gotten one on every single time. So
I think you'll get more than one on mine. But let me ask you this: is the goal to try to get my top 10 in a row, or?
I'll never get them in a row.
Okay, that's what I was like. That's not going to happen. So
I'm lucky to get one.
Right, and this top 10, it's not like which movie I like necessarily better than the other one. It's just,
yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right, I'm getting my stopwatch ready. Are you ready? You got any last minute questions?
I'm ready.
All right, on your mark, get set, go.
Now, the thing is, I can't remember if these movies have 42nd Street in them. So guess what? If I know they're sleazy in New York, they're going on the fucking list.
That's a good, like, if this was a multiple choice test, you'd be ahead of the game right there. That would be good.
And I do like a lot of these movies, so I'm mostly thinking kind of the big...
Yeah, a lot of them are, for the time, definitely bigger ones. There's one in there that I would almost guarantee that you won't get, because I talked to a few friends about this when I was doing it, and I mentioned it, and A, they couldn't remember that it had 42nd Street. B, they're like, why is it even in there? And I got some stories about that too, and you might even have some answers for me, because I have some questions on it, but it's an odd one.
What am I looking at?
You got 1 minute, 8 seconds.
Not bad so far. Fuck.
Remember, we're going for 11. There's an extra one in there.
Okay. I know, like, I'm thinking of all these seedy locations I've seen walking around.
You're going to get some of these, man. You got 42 seconds.
I got 11. Let me see it.
Okay,
go over my list here.
Go over your list. There you go. Look it over.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know if I should switch that. Oh, wow. I'm putting 12.
Okay, all right. That's all right.
And this one's a bonus. It doesn't mean I got it, but I'm just putting it there just in case to let you know.
Maybe you'll surprise me, man.
So I'm only counting my 11.
Okay.
I'm good.
You got 12 seconds left. Any last minute things?
I don't want to jinx myself.
5, 4, 3, 2. That's it.
Now, you gave me a stuff that I like, and I've always referenced those movies because I like my sleazy, cheesy shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I like you, Dave.
All right. So you go, name your movie, talk as much as you want. I might pop in at the end.
So how does this work? So I name the movie and you say like, okay, I had that one or something like that?
No, we're going to start from your 10 and go all the way up, and then we'll reveal my 10.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fun. All right. So here we go. Number 1 on the list, The Exterminator.
In war, you have to kill to survive. On the streets of New York, the choice is the same. For the Exterminator.
Are you familiar with this movie?
Great movie.
It's got Robert Ginty as the Exterminator. He's a great kind of culty actor, and it's a shame he's not with us anymore. I actually didn't find out that he was dead until not that long ago because I wanted to get him for my convention. I'm like, this guy would be awesome, and then, oh shit, he's been dead for 12 years. You know, so the Exterminator. You know, I'm not going to go into it, but basically, this ex-Vietnam veteran or Vietnam veteran witnesses, I guess, a murder situation on 42nd Street, and he goes after the guys that did it, and one by one starts taking down, you know, the whole cartel that's behind this murder of a prostitute, and it's kind of, you know, it's like a Death Wish kind of movie,
yeah,
but I think a little more low rent, a little seedier, and a lot of it happens on 42nd Street. You know, I think maybe even the majority of the movie.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, there's a lot of sleazy shit in that movie too.
Yeah, and the cool thing about watching movies that have 42nd Street, I'm always drawn to see what's playing. Like, that's always interesting to me. So,
and then when they're on Blu-ray now, you can actually read the marquee. Back in the day, you're like, what was that?
Better, yeah. So
I don't know what that is.
See, like, what's playing, and I've even spotted like some of the same movies in other movies. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
So
shot on the same weekend.
All right, number one, Exterminator. Number two, now this
I can Robert Ginty. Have you ever seen Whitefire?
Yes, I watched that a couple weeks ago for the first time. Awesome. It's weird, man. Like,
Super
this guy is trying to hook up with his sister in the whole movie. Like, did you catch that?
Yeah, it's bizarre. And then,
I don't know if that would fly today or even then, you know?
It's the 80s. Forget about it.
Yeah, but a good fun movie, nevertheless.
Steve James is in Exterminator, right? And it's got the dude from House of a Thousand Corpses, Ravelli. He's in that as a goon.
So I think I don't remember too many. I haven't seen it in a little while, and the side players are kind of.
And fucking Christopher George.
Yes, definitely.
Grouchy ass Christopher George. Yeah. That's a really good movie. That's a great one.
That one quick story, and then we'll move on. That was probably one of the first R-rated movies I think I ever saw, because I remember I was at a sleepover when I was a kid, and, you know, back in the mid to late 80s, you know, the typical thing was you take the kids to the video store, they rent some stuff, get pizza, and, you know, that was their night. So me and my two friends, we really wanted that movie, and our buddy's mom wasn't having it, and then, like, my friend just begged her, and we watched it, and we're like 9-year-old kids. And it was, you know, I thought it was awesome, but I think the parents didn't feel right about letting us watch that. You know,
it's better than the Terminator, Mom. It's the Exterminator.
I think we even actually said that. Like, I think it's not like the Terminator. This is different. So, fun movie. All right, number two. So this is a movie that I newly discovered. It's an older movie, but I newly discovered it. It's got Peter Weller and not Chris Christoph, Sam Elliott, mustache guy. It sounds like you might have this. The movie's called Shakedown.
Peter Weller.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone, babe.
Sam Elliott.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. I'm old and slow.
Shakedown. Whatever you do, don't call the cops.
This movie is great, and I don't know why I didn't check it out in the past. It's one I missed, but it's seedy, it's sleazy, it's fun, it's got some weird action sequences. I mean, the ending of the movie, not to give away too much, is ridiculous, but it's, you know, you watch it and it's enjoyable. And a lot of it takes place on 42nd Street. In fact, Sam Elliott's character, this is the coolest thing about the movie, you know, he's like this rogue cop. You know, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of money, and he's just, you know, he's just different. He lives in one of the grindhouse theaters in 42nd Street. So you think about it, that's not a dumb thing, because back in the day, to get in like those movie theaters, $1 or $2.
Yeah.
So his rent's $2 a day. He's got a bathroom. He's got, you know, they're selling popcorn and concessions nearby. He's always got entertainment. Not such a bad thing, you know.
That's a crazy ass movie. It's like those times when they would always take two cops, and like Peter Weller and Sam Elliott are completely different spectrums here.
That's another thing. I love pairing up with like people that don't belong together. That's always cool.
the used to be the best genre. Like Running Scared was a great one.
The Billy Crystal one.
Yeah, with Gregory
Yeah, yeah.
Hines. That was a good one. And then like a 48 Hour, all those ones, Beverly Hills Cop. But that
I
one's
think
really
48
cool.
Hours really like set the bar for those types
Yeah.
of movies.
But
All
the
right.
fucking ending of that movie is insane. And
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to give it away, but
No.
it sounds like you've seen it. But it's just, it almost should have been a canon film, but it's not.
it's a Glickenhaus, which the Exterminator is a Glickenhaus produced movie too, which
Right.
shows me that I should have just went Shapiro Glickenhaus down the whole fucking list.
Right. Yeah. There's a few. Well, one that's not on here, but a quick mention. You ever see a movie called The Soldier, 1982?
No, I have not.
It's a
Kino put that
Glickenhaus-
out, right?
Yes, I just picked it up. It's a Glickenhaus movie, and it is actually in Shakedown. That's the movie that Sam Elliott's watching.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that made me want to check it out. And it's a cool movie too.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So we got The Exterminator, Shakedown. Number 3, older movie. I think the oldest one that I named. Vinegar Syndrome put it out a while back. It's one of their older releases. We're going to talk about the Massage Parlor Murders.
Killer that terrorizes them. See, a motion picture that will rip into your guts like no other film since Alfred Hitchcock's masterpiece, Psycho. See, Massage Parlor Murders.
Familiar with that at all?
I think I watched it originally when I got the Blu-ray, but it was so long ago. It was before I was doing the weekly video thing, so I don't remember a fucking thing except just kind of murders in a massage parlor, sleazy, right?
Right. So I didn't revisit it either. I actually kind of just vaguely remembered the movie, and I was like, I think it was set on 42nd Street, so I just watched the trailer and I pulled out my Blu-ray and reread it. So I can't talk too much about it because kind of like you, I watched it, 5 or 6 years ago and then just kind of moved on. But from what I remember, yeah, it was some of a slasher movie from a guy, going to massage parlors in 42nd Street and slashing up the massage therapist or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like there's some comedic beats in it too, if I remember correctly, isn't there?
Brother Theodore from The Burbs is in it.
Klopek. What is that, Slavic?
No.
Oh, about a 9 on the tension scale, Rube.
That's like one thing that I remembered. And he's kind of a weird guy anyway. So, it's so odd to see him in a movie like that. So, that's one cool thing it's got going for it. So, all right, Massage Parlor Murders. Let's move on. This one, I'd say you have to be familiar with it. Basket Case.
What's in the basket?
Who doesn't love Basket Case?
Fun movie, man. I'm sure a lot of horror fans are going to watch this, so I don't feel like I need to explain that movie too much. But 42nd Street is absolutely in the movie, but I wouldn't go so far to say it's an integral part of it. There's a few clips here and there, but the motel where the lead actor is staying with his Basket Case brother is on 42nd Street.
Of course. I mean, Frank Henenlotter is just a guy that you think sleazy New York. I would say that there's 3 directors that I immediately think sleazy New York. Henenlotter, Abel Ferreira, and William Lustig.
I knew you were going to say Lustig. He's on the list too.
Of course.
You know what? I don't think I have any Abel Ferrara movies in this.
Let me
which
just
is a
throw
shame.
this fucking list in there.
Which is a shame. No, because I love his stuff, but I don't know. I just didn't make the cut. All right. So Basket Case. Moving on. Taxi Driver.
Never see a more chilling performance than this. Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver. Jodie Foster.
De Niro is up and down the streets on 42nd Street. I think he even takes out Sybil Shepherd to a porno movie, and she's all weirded out by it. And he's like, no, I don't know. I think one of his lines in the movie is literally like, well, I don't know much about movies, but, I think it's a good one.
I love that movie, and it's super sleazy, and I feel like it's like rarely is it like we respect these movies on the list, but a lot of people don't. But everybody respects the shit out of Taxi Driver, and I bet after Taxi Driver came out, everybody's like, gotta have a crazy person on 42nd Street.
I love Taxi Driver. I'd say it's one of my favorite Scorsese movies. I don't think it's my favorite, but definitely, an awesome movie, for sure.
And the score is one of the scores that I used to catch myself whistling. The Bernard Herrmann score, isn't it? Bernard Herrmann from Psycho?
You know what? I bet it is. That's the guy who used to do Hitchcock stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of slow moving.
Yeah, it's a really great score.
Yeah, I never put that together, but that's good to know. So, all right, Taxi Driver. Moving on. Older movie. This one might be the oldest one in the bunch. I think it came out in 69 or 68. Older movie, one that I just recently revisited, or I'm sorry, I watched. I'd never seen it until a couple weeks ago. Midnight Cowboy.
His name is Joe Buck. He's a cowboy. He just came in from Texas.
Cowboy, huh?
I ain't a for real cowboy, but I am one hell of a stud.
Then how come you ain't scored once the whole time you've been in New York?
I've never seen it.
You should check it out, man.
I know it's right up my alley.
Yeah, and it's kind of like me too. Like I'm like, I know I'll like this. I just it just never happened, and I knew we were gonna do this, so I'm like, I need to watch this movie, and it was great, man. John Voight as Joe Buck, this kind of countrified guy with a dream. Moves to New York to become a gigolo, and things aren't working well for him, so he forms a kind of an odd partnership with Dustin Hoffman, who's this like gimpy-legged hustler guy that's kind of, something's wrong with him. Like, he's just an odd character. I think it might be my favorite performance by Dustin Hoffman other than Rain Man. Like, he was just, I hadn't seen him like this. Like, this sleazy, like half gimpy, I don't know. But it was a cool movie nevertheless, just watching these two trying to figure things out, trying to survive on 42nd Street, and you should totally check it out, man. Good movie.
One question: better gay cowboys in Midnight Cowboy or Brokeback Mountain?
I mean, well, he's not gay in the movie. Like it's
like a friend romantic relationship without sex, right?
Yeah, no, they're not. Neither of them are gay, and it doesn't come across that either. They did, and I mean, Joe Buck is, he only hooks up with women. In fact, I think there's a scene in the movie where he's kind of down on his luck, and he does end up hooking up with a guy, but it's for the money. He's like, well, I need to eat, but it's not. There's no real gay undertones. I didn't sense that.
I've heard it there was before. I have the Blu-rays. I've been meaning to watch it. You know what I mean? It's one of those.
Hey, gotta check it out, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Midnight Cowboy. All right. Next, Black Caesar with I just immediately
Fred Williamson.
There you go. Fred Williamson. Cigar, the guy.
Fred Williamson, in the private war of an angry man, whose hate was spelled out in the blood of his enemies, his violence in the curses of his women.
Now, let's take a look at Hobb. You tell me, who's going to control these people? It's a jungle, and it takes a jungle bunny to run it.
Black Caesar.
It's a what's the guy that did It's Alive?
Larry Cohen.
Larry Cohen movie. 42nd Street's all over it. I think the scene where Fred Williamson gets shot, there's a scene where he gets shot. I think it's towards the end. I think he's literally walking on 42nd Street when it happens.
I've never seen this one. I don't think I've seen this one. I've seen a handful of Fred Williamson, but I don't think I watched this one.
If you like gangster movies and pimps and 70s sleaze, I
love that shit.
Yeah, you got to check it out, man. And then if you like Larry Cohen, it's his style kind of stuff. So, good movie, Black Caesar. It's got 42nd Street in it.
Another fucking guy that I should have put on the list is Larry Cohen. All his movies are in New York. That was a mistake right there. He's probably the fourth guy I think of when I think New York.
Yeah,
and Scorsese.
Then I'd put, he's not on the list with anything, but I'd put Lloyd Kaufman in there.
Oh yeah. I don't know. There's got to be a Troma 42nd Street.
I don't, man. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to ask him that one day, man. I don't know. All right. This one's got to be in your list. If it's not, you're having an off day, dude. Maniac.
Well, my dog certainly isn't a laughing matter. It's Maniac, a disgusting horror show that forced me out of the theater after only 30 minutes. Maniac is a repulsive story of a berserk killer in New York. This is an extremely brutal film that thoroughly grossed me out, and what sent me out of the theater so early was the scene where we see a head hit by a shotgun blast and it explodes in slow motion.
Come on. Who doesn't love Maniac?
I'll say this about Maniac. I'm actually not a huge fan of it because when I was younger, the cover was so much cooler than the movie, and it bothered me. Like, the cover is just awesome, and the movie to me was all right. And the problem that I have with Maniac, and I'm rare in this because I've talked to a bunch of people about it, and they're like, yeah, you're stupid, is the lead actor in it, which I've forgotten his name now.
Joe Spinell.
Joe Spinell. When I see him, I can't not think about Rocky. Like, all I think about is that, that guy that's like running the show in the original Rocky. I'm like, he's that guy to me.
Break his thumb like I told you to. When you don't do what I tell you to do, you make me look bad, Rock.
I figure if I break the guy's thumb, he gets laid off, right? He can't make.
Yeah, well, don't figure. Let me do the figuring, okay, Rock? From here on, just let me do the figuring.
Like, he's not anyone else but that guy. So seeing him as this serial killer, I'm like, well, he ain't a serial killer. He manages Rocky, So I've always had that
so many
problem.
movies. And he always has the cameo, the sleaze cameo. He just pops up and like somebody else, Art brought it up. He brought up his performance in, of course, Cruisin', which is, you've seen Cruisin', right?
Yes, I love Cruisin'.
Man,
yeah.
he might be even sicker in Cruisin' than Maniac.
Yeah.
He's definitely not as sympathetic.
I like him in other roles, but for some reason, Maniac, it just didn't hit right with me. Like, I really like that movie, The Undertaker. I thought that was pretty cool, and that was a semi-new watch. I mean, I saw it a couple of years ago. I didn't see it when it came out. And he's good in Cruisin', and he's in a lot of stuff over the years, like you said, like small little parts. But nevertheless, Maniac absolutely has 42nd Street featured in the backdrop.
Course.
So, all right, so we got 8 down, 2 to go. This one's not so popular, but 42nd Street is in the title, and I recently I rewatched it because I saw it a long time ago, but I don't remember it that well. Riot on 42nd Street.
I'm a reporter. I was born here a street kid, but the street games are different now. We played stickball, kicked the can. Now something else gets kicked. I was in Vietnam in '68. Sometimes I can't tell the difference.
You ever see that one?
Is that the Tim Kincaid movie? He did Breeders and Mutant Hunt and Robot Holocaust. I've only seen Robot Holocaust and Breeders and the other one.
It's not that great. Like, so the movie's advertised having Jeff Fahey in it from Lawnmower Man.
Oh, yeah.
It's like barely in the movies, which, people did that all the time. And it's like, it's probably one of his first roles. And the movie's really all over the place. Like, I couldn't tell you what the plot is because there's just too much. I feel like they just tried to do too much and it didn't make sense. Like, there's cops, there's hookers, there's 42nd Street, like this is happening, but nothing like really connects, other than, people fighting on 42nd Street. Tell you what it's about.
The cover art's great though, isn't it?
It's got great cover art. It's got a great title.
I think that's his MO.
It's entertaining. It's just, there's no plot.
Have you ever seen his other movies? I think that's his MO.
You know what? Yes. Breeders is kind of all over the place too. That movie, I felt like I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Robot Holocaust, man.
Haven't seen that one. I need to.
And Mutant Hunt, like the covers, you're like, these are going to be 5-star movies, and you get them home, and you're like, I don't know what's happening. I think he was involved with Necropolis too, which also is an amazing cover art.
I've still never seen that, but yeah, the cover is badass. But I always skip over that one for some reason. I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to like it or something. I don't know.
At least watch the 6-titted breastfeeding.
No, is that pre Total Recall or after?
Pre. I would say pre.
Wow, so they kind of broke ground on.
Yeah, the 6. 6 is better than 3. At least it's an even number.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Number 10. So this one is a weird one, and I would bet it's not on your list, but it's got 42nd Street in it, and it kind of works with the plot of this movie a little bit. The movie is Weekend at Bernie's Part 2.
From being the life of the party.
See, Arnold, he's not afraid of you. You're the bravest guy I've ever met.
Weekend at Bernie's 2. No one does dead like Bernie.
Most people hate it. I love it because it's just, to me, it's so bad it's good. It's my favorite zombie movie.
It can't be your favorite.
It is that is a zombie movie. Like I'm not gonna argue that with anyone because it is.
I believe you. It's a zombie movie. I'm not. Your favorite though is the one that's getting me.
All right, well maybe it's not my favorite, but it's up there, man. It's one of my favorite zombie movies because it's just such a goofy movie, and I really like the first one too. But the second one is just batshit crazy. So at some point, Andrew McCarthy and Jonathan Silverman, it's a sequel, so they find out about some money that Bernie had that it's not been taken advantage of yet. So they go to the morgue, they get the body, they get this voodoo lady to put a curse on him, and he anytime music is playing, he starts dancing.
Oh yeah.
And he leads these two guys to the money. Actually, I left a part out. He gets stolen by these two other guys that are on the track for this money, and they take him down to 42nd Street, and they actually put the voodoo curse on him, but they're missing some elements to their voodoo shrine. Like they need a live chicken, and I think they went with a pigeon or something like that. So Bernie he's supposed to just walk to the money, but he only moves when there's music playing. So it's kind of screws around with the movie a little bit. But going back, so in that scene with Weekend at Bernie's 2, Bernie gets away from the guys. At some point he gets away from the two black guys that stole him from Andrew McCarthy and Joel Silverman. Silverman?
I can't help you out on this one.
Yeah. Anyway, so Bernie gets stolen, and the two guys are looking for him. They end up in this theater where on 42nd Street where there's pornos playing in the background. So they find the missing chicken that they needed for the spell, and they're like, "Hey, give me that chicken." And the guy's like, "No, this chicken's with me." So that actor with the chicken, I don't know his name, he is in the Exterminator. And he is in the scene with the Exterminator where he is torturing this woman, and he's got a chicken with him, and he's burning her with this this burning device. And I'm like, why is that actor in that scene Exterminator with a chicken under his arm, and then he's in Weekend at Bernie's 2 with a chicken? I was like, he's got to have
a chicken wrangler.
Friends.
He's a chicken wrangler.
Could be that. Yeah, that's true. I never thought of that. But I'm like, what are the odds of that? This guy's an Exterminator, Weekend at Bernie's 2, and he has a small part in The Soldier. So maybe he's friends with Glickenhaus, or he's a chicken wrangler. I don't know.
You know what's fucked up? Is we did the tournament, and I actually used Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's 2 in one of the tournaments. It was a weird Dead Things tournament.
You like it too. You like Weekend at Bernie's too. Everyone likes it.
I don't remember it. I always saw it on TV and remember Bernie dancing, and I was like, well, that's a weird Dead Thing. I didn't disagree. He's a zombie.
It's probably not worth revisiting, but I don't know. I saw it in the theater, and I remember going to the theater with my grandmother and my dad, and they were against it. And I had to beg and plea, and they hated it. They're like, what's wrong with you? And I think it was kind of around that time I realized I didn't have the same kind of taste in movies that most people had. Yeah. I like weird oddball shit. Because my dad's he's mainstream, likes mainstreamy stuff. Some of the stuff I watch, doesn't work with him. He's like, what? Basket Case? Why?
I remember I showed my dad part of the first movie I made. And I don't know if you ever watched Slimy Little Bastards.
Oh yeah, dude, I had a copy. I don't know where it happened, but yeah, I got one from you when you first put it out.
And they showed him that slime scene because I had shot it. It was with my cousin. And my dad's like, why is he being such a jerk to that guy? Is that slime making him angry? I was like, no, he's just an asshole. I don't have to explain this to you. He didn't understand that he was just a dick at the work site. He thought the slime made him evil. I was like, no.
Math. I tell him, just keep at it. Do the homework. I know it's a lot of homework. I know it's a lot. Shut up.
That'd be cool though if you made a movie where slime just made people angry. It was angry slime.
It's Ghostbusters 2.
You're right. It's mood slime. Mood slime. They start yelling at it. You're right. Someone's already done that.
I don't have a problem with rewatching Weekend at Bernie's 2. You're talking to a guy who prefers Chud 2 over Chud.
I love Chud 2.
Me too. I think
it's way more entertaining than the first one.
I agree. It's a kids movie, but people are so mad that it's not Chud 1. It's you guys are forgetting that Chud 1's good but kind of boring.
Yeah, Chud 1, I was going to say that Chud 1 is kind of a slow-moving, boring movie for the most part. It's got all the elements to be this amazing movie, and it's okay. But yeah. Chud 2 is a masterpiece because it's fun, it's ridiculous, and it has Garrett Graham in it.
Agreed.
He's suave.
Are you heterosexual?
He's charming. He's different.
Well, he eats people. I guess that could be interpreted as personality quirk.
He's Bud the Chud.
We just talked about Garrett Graham with Marcus. Marcus, we all love Garrett Graham because he's just fucking...
I like him a lot. My favorite role with him is not a horror movie, though. I love him in... You ever see Used Cars?
Oh.
He's hilarious in that movie, dude.
He has that big speech, right, where they're doing the cars, and then Frank McRae jumps up on the car and he gets shot, and something goes wrong, and he's just like...
Oh, yeah, the commercial, and they're doing the
yeah.
commercial. Yeah, it's like they're shooting each other, and then ketchup's flying out. That movie is... I don't think that movie gets the credit it deserves. I don't think it did that well, and it wasn't... You know, it's got a lot of big name people in it, and I think Steven Spielberg is the executive producer, or maybe even the director, and it just really didn't do that.
This is Zemeckis directed, right? But I bet Spielberg touched it.
You're right. Zemeckis directed it. Spielberg is the executive producer.
I watched that for the first time a couple years back, and it was one of the funniest movies I've seen. Like,
it's awesome, man. It's one of my go-tos. It would be probably in my top 10 favorite comedies for sure.
The scene where they fucking they rip the guy off with the dogs, and they run over the dog.
Like, it's the rock under the car. He's like, "Oh, Toby!" Like, there's so many funny things in that movie, man.
And
Garrett Graham is perfect in that role.
If I give you this car for this price, my boss is gonna have a heart attack, and he runs. And he's like, "Ah!"
I remember if you watch the commentary, because I've watched or listened to the commentary rather. I'm pretty sure he wasn't the first choice for that role. I think they were looking to try to get Dan Aykroyd or something for. No, I'm sorry. It was supposed to be John Candy.
Instead of Kurt Russell or Jack Warden?
No, in Garrett Graham's role.
Oh.
Yeah, they wanted John Candy for that role, which I'm sure he would have been great, but it would have had a different feel to it.
He's got a good-natured thing about him. Garrett Graham just seems like a sleazeball.
Yeah. John Candy's more lovable, for sure.
The only time I've ever seen John Candy sleazy was in JFK, and he was just sweating profusely.
Yeah, it's kind of like Rodney Dangerfield in Natural Born Killers. Like, he was sleazy in there, and I remember that really bothered me because he's always like a guy, I see him and I want to laugh, and that movie just made me, like, his role made me feel creepy.
I'm gonna take out your eye and show it to you. I love that movie.
All right,
but
so we did the 10. There's that honorable mention one.
Oh,
remember I said 11?
Yeah.
So the honorable mention, I'll tell you why it's an honorable mention. It's Escape from New York.
It's not the future we wanted, but the future that happened. Once a great city, now a high-security prison, designed to keep society's criminals in. But now, everything rides on getting one person out.
So 42nd Street isn't necessarily in the movie, it's not in the movie, but they mention it, and I think at one point they drive past it, but it's not 42nd Street, it's faux 42nd Street. So that's why I can't say it's an official.
Oh, yeah, it's the Ennio G. Castellari movie, right?
Yeah, but it's mentioned, and Escape from New York is an awesome fucking movie, so it deserves to be somewhere on the list.
Okay. Good list,
All right,
good list.
Let's hear it.
I always go basic bitch when it comes to these lists to write them, just because I revert back.
Okay.
Number 11, Taxi Driver.
Okay, that's one you got. Hell yeah.
Number 10, Vigilante by William Lustig.
That's a great one, man. I'm surprised I left that out.
You're not safe anymore. Their numbers are growing, and you must wage a war to eliminate the problem. Yourself. Vigilante.
I don't know if 42nd Street's in it, but I feel like it could be.
Who directed that?
Lustig.
I was going to say, like, it wouldn't shock me either way, but it probably is. I'll give you it. Yeah.
We're mentioning a lot of fucking Fred Williamson.
Yeah. Well, he did. I mean, he was big on 42nd, and I think he made up like all his most of them in New York. Like, that was his stomping ground. So all right, that's a good one, though.
I panicked and put Maniac Cop.
There's someone out there. No one knows his name. No one knows his face.
Oh, no.
But now, the most terrifying man in the city
Officer! Officer! Oh, thank God it's you.
carries a badge.
You know, okay, I rewatched Maniac Cop for this list. I don't think it's 42nd Street's in Maniac Cop. Maybe the sequels, I'd have to revisit those, but I can't 100% say it's in that movie.
Yeah, I couldn't remember either.
Yeah,
And
so
I actually prefer 2 and 3 over 1, which is crazy.
yeah, they're fun. So you got one official one we know for sure. That's Taxi Driver.
Number 8, which is a wild card, which has a great scene in the opening, which I believe is 42nd Street, is Nightmares in a Damaged Brain, where we have the character wandering down and he's seeing all the sleaze, and he goes in the strip joint and he sees like the quarter booth. I believe that's 42nd Street, because then he drives cross country to California to kill his family.
Prepare yourself for the most intensely shocking motion picture of our time. Nightmare.
That's the same. Nightmare is the alternate title, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen that movie in a while, so I can't. I'm not the best person to judge on that, but you're probably right on that one. But that's a cool movie, nevertheless.
Yeah, the opening stuff's great and the sleazy.
I have to revisit that one. Nightmare and a Damaged Brain. You know who put that out?
Massacre is supposed to put it out, but 88 Films put out a release, Code Red put out a DVD and a Blu-ray that I think's out of print. So
right,
might be able to get the 88, or you can just wait for the Code Red, the Massacre, but that could be a long time.
Okay.
Number 7 is one I believe this is the one I watched, called Children of Times Square.
Let that flow. Hey, buddy, what's happening? Long time no see. See you tomorrow. Let that blow.
Scared of the back. Same place.
How many?
Just 2 of them.
CJ, over here. Let's go.
And I believe 42nd Street's got to be in it. Like, it's got to be.
I don't know anything about that one.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is the movie where we have the, In the Heat of the Night, how they had the TV version?
Right,
and they had the African-American guy. I don't remember his actor name.
Sidney. Well, I don't know the TV version.
Yeah, the TV version of that. This is like the Reservoir Dogs conversation. Who was the TV version of that? Yeah.
Right.
But he basically plays this like drug pusher, and he has all these kids working out from to sell drugs and shit. And I believe that's the movie I'm thinking of. I think I covered it on my show. It's been a long time though. I think it's called Children of Times Square.
Huh. I'm going to write that down. I've never even heard of that. Children of Times Square. All right.
Number 6, I got Andy Warhol's Bad. I was like, this movie I remember being super sleazy. It's got to have somewhere. So I went super New York sleazy.
Get in the car! I don't want to! Glenda, what's wrong with you? Don't you want to go for a ride? Get in the car! Mary, are you coming? Okay. Should I get in the back seat?
Hey, mister, you got $1?
No, I don't.
Do you have $1?
Oh.
Never seen that either, so I'll have to research that one too.
It might not be in there. It's been 20 years since I watched Andy Warhol's Bad, but I just remember Susan Tyrrell wandering around dirty-ass fucking, I believe, New York City, like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. I mean, I think that's where Andy Warhol lived. I think.
Yeah.
So,
have you seen that one at all? You said no?
No, never seen it.
You've checked that one out.
Movies I haven't seen at all. So
you should watch Andy Warhol's Bad. I'm going to rewatch it too. I hope it gets a nice release. That's kind of holding me back. One of my personal favorite movies is Miss 45.
Every day, on every street, in every city, women are insulted, abused, threatened.
Nana, what's the matter?
What's the matter with you?
Oh, Oh yeah, man. That one should have been on my list too.
But is there a 42nd Street?
I don't know. That's worth rewatching again because that's an awesome movie. I tell you one thing I like to say about that movie. The first time I watched it, after I watched it, I'm like, something was off. Like something was weird. I didn't know that the lead actress never said anything in the whole movie. Because it didn't click because it was just, the movie was just moving so quick and things were happening. It's so interesting. I'm like, she didn't fucking say anything.
That's like I Spit on Your Grave. There's no fucking music in this movie.
It didn't click until after I watched the movie. I'm like, that's amazing. Like that she held my interest and said absolutely nothing in the movie. But I don't know. I always thought that was cool about that movie.
Oh, it's a really cool idea too. Like, because she can't scream, she can't get her voice out, she can't do anything. So what's she gonna do? She's gonna act out, fucking shoot him.
Yeah, I think that actress she's no longer with us.
I think she died quite some time ago, actually. She
Yeah,
was Zoe Tamarellis or Zoe Lund was her name.
I don't think she did a lot of other movies either.
I think she pops up in Bad Lieutenant, and she's kind of I think she's one of the women doing drugs with Harvey Keitel. It's been years. So
yeah. Anyone who's seen that movie, like that's like the first thing that pops in their head. That and the scene with the two young girls where he's pretending to be a cop. I'm not going to go into detail. You know the scene.
Of course. Oh, bad. Then with number 4, we got Maniac.
Perfect. That was on my. That's definitely official. You got 2 for sure.
Okay. Number 3, New York Ripper.
You know, I don't know if it's in there or not. Do you know?
I remember people buying porno magazines down the street, but I don't know if it's 42nd. I don't remember the bright lights. It's definitely not there at night.
I'd have to revisit that one to know for sure. I mean, obviously it's in New York, but is 42nd Street there? It should be. It could be.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Number 2, Frankenhooker.
Another Glickenhaus movie, I believe.
Yeah. Head and Ladder, produced by Glickenhaus.
I think there's a little. It's not in it as much as it should be, but I think there's a small portion where it's in there. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it really should be Frankenhooker walking down 42nd Street doing her thing, but I don't think that's what happens. But with that being said, I'm almost 100% positive that there's a piece of 42nd Street. And I'll go ahead and give you that one. So that's 3.
No, you didn't put Frankenhooker. But
well, I didn't put Frankenhooker.
And number 1, what's in the basket?
A basket case.
It's the first one that came to my head.
Well, you got 3 on my. You got basket case, Maniac, and
Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver. So,
not bad. I mean,
30%.
That's the second best I've done. I got a 5, and then a 3, and then a 3. So you're tied with somebody else. Not too bad.
Who have you've done? Me, Dustin. Who else have you done?
I've done a bunch of people. We're going to do them in order. So we started Dustin, James L. Edwards, Marcus Cook, Seb Godin, Art Ediger.
Okay. So
Aaron Ryan.
Wow. So you've done a few people.
I got some more people coming up. I don't know if I should keep them surprises for when they pop up because they'll see all those before, but after you keep them maybe surprises.
Obviously, all the top 10, everyone's different. No one's picked the same thing, or
we had a repeat, but only one movie was the same.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, I kind of checked out Dustin's a little bit, but I look forward to watching the other ones. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, and you can come back to, and maybe I will change the tournament and do something else. I have another couple of games because I always like to do these dumbass movie games, but like my family and friends are like, I don't fucking know, like they can't do it. But yeah, so there has been a bunch of repeats though, like this list, like movies that people love. So like it's a horror genre, right? Stuff like Maniac is gonna pop up more than once.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So the tournament, there's 8 names in this hat.
Tell me about it.
All right, for you, I thought, I'm gonna think low budget kind of characters, killers, crazy people, sometimes twins, since you directed that documentary about Florida-made horror films. What is it?
That you haven't watched yet.
No, I have not. I'm terrible. I'm a horrible person, if you haven't noticed. I'm instead watching watching 94 movies that are just I already seen. But what's it? Blood and Sunshine?
Blood, Guts, and Sunshine.
Okay. So I picked 8 different, some are pairs, so sometimes there's 2, characters from low-budget Florida movies.
Oh, okay. I think I'll do all right at this.
Yes. Now, some of them range from super old movies from probably the early 70s all the way up until more modern ones.
Okay, all right.
So you should know all these. I'm sure you probably watched all these movies.
How many are there?
There's 8, and I pull them out. The first 2 go against each other. You decide who goes next.
Okay.
And if I can, I'll set up some circumstances how these characters are going to meet. So I'll try to tell a story. All right.
All right.
If I can.
This is fun. Okay.
Okay, that's one. So I know these characters are going to meet somewhere. I'm not going to tell you. I've been fucking up and just showing the person right away, but I want to set up a story because I think it's more fun that way. Oh shit, this is going to be real weird. So we're in the Florida Everglades.
Okay.
Now all these people are on a run. They're running from the law.
Are they on an airboat?
They did have access to an airboat, but they got away from the airboat, so they are they have the weapons they had within the movies. So the first group of characters is going to be from the Hook generation.
Daisy, the leader. Killing was easy for him. Acid, the addict. Depraved, brutal, sadistic. Dum-dum, tough punk. Easily led.
By William Griffey.
The Griffey movie? All right.
I'm switching it up a little bit. I'm putting Dum Dum, Daisy, and Acid. Acid shouldn't be there because he technically died before he got to the Everglades. But we're putting those 3 in the Everglades because those are the 3 most fun characters. And they are going to run into the characters from Marcus Cook's Rot. The 2 leads, Muzzy and Sarah, both infected with a rotting disease. So who's going to win that fight? Yeah.
You know, that could almost happen. I mean, Griffey's still alive. He lives in Florida. You know, Marcus can get here. We should try and make that happen.
Oh, but who's going to win that fight? I mean, they're rotting. There's gators around. There's guns.
Well, the gators are going to win the fight. That's how if I was directing, that's where I would go with it. I'm like, no one's winning here except nature. You know.
Yeah. Who wins the next bracket though? Who do you think wins the fight?
Well. Marcus's characters, Muzzy and what's the other one?
Sarah.
I mean, they're dying, man. They're not. They're like, okay, RoboCop. What's his name when he gets hit with the toxic waste? Yeah, they're in that kind of state. Like they're in no shape to have a fight with the Hook generation.
Okay.
No, that's what I would say.
You're right.
I'm right. Okay, I got that right.
You can do whatever you want. It's your choice.
Is there really a right answer to this stuff?
The right answer is your answer. You could be like, that person. Why? Because I like their hat.
They are rotting. You know, the title. Like those people are rotting.
Okay,
so they're not going to win.
The Hook generation moves on.
Griffey's gang beats up Marcus's gang. End of story.
It's actually a really good gang for a 70s movie too.
Yeah, you know, I recently got the I'd pull it out. I got the box set. I think is Arrow. Arrow put out the Griffey box set. Yeah, I think you actually turned me. I think I was talking about it because I think I was talking about Stanley, and I think you mentioned that Stanley's not in the box set.
No, Stanley's not.
Stanley's a great movie.
And he had another one with William Shatner that I haven't seen. Is it called Impulse?
That movie is great. Impulse. That's where I met Bill Griffey. They had a showing here with and he was hosting it.
Yeah.
And it was a fun movie, and Griffey was awesome to meet, and I think that was the first movie of his I ever saw.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed Hook Generation and Whiskey Mountain, I think. And of course,
I haven't seen Whiskey Mountain.
Mako Jaws of Death is a good one with Richard Jekyll.
I need to check. I have my box set still sealed, but I'm going to watch all of them. Quick question. Has you've been going to Wasteland for a while. Has Griffey ever been to Wasteland when you went?
He might have, but by then, I probably just knew him in passing like Stanley. And, I hadn't really dived into his filmography. So,
gotcha.
And now I would definitely go up and meet him, but sometimes you're just not as familiar, you know what I mean? Yeah. As you should be.
Maybe he'll make it up there, man. I mean, the guy's getting older, but he's still pretty, gets around.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one, we're drawing out here. And this winner will go against the next one. And they reset. They don't have damage from the previous fight because...
Okay, so the Hook generation's fighting someone else? Is that...
No. They move on to the next. Like kind of like a March Madness basketball bracket.
Okay, all right.
And it's March.
I gotcha, I see.
Oh, shit. I don't even know how to break this fight down. But I'm going to change the... I don't remember how this one ends, but here we go. It looks like these people both ended up in a mental institution.
Okay,
all right.
I think I know what it is.
The guards forgot to seal the rooms. They didn't put them down. They didn't put the straitjackets on.
What this is.
So what happens is late night, there's an argument, there's a fight, and the first one up is going to be Mike Strauber from Truth or Dare, Tim Ritter's Truth or Dare. He's got to be in there. What is that institution called? Sunnyvale or Sunnyvale?
Sunnyvale. I joke with Tim Ritter when I occasionally talk to him, and it's the Sunnyvale Mental Institution.
Okay. And he's going to run into, I don't remember if he was caught or killed at the end of this movie, but he's running into Bob Glazer, Cannibal Claus.
Ooh, cool.
Cannibal Claus.
All right, we got Cannibal Claus versus Mike Strauber. Man, so without being biased, or, I mean, Cannibal Claus is one of my characters, but I think Strauber could take him, man. I mean, Cannibal Claus, he eats people. But I mean, let's face facts. He's an older guy. I mean, he's not too spry. I mean, he's crazy. I mean, he will eat you, but he eats people when they're dead. He doesn't just lunge at you. Mike Strauber is a guy who's mentally unstable, and he's got that mallet thing that he hits the lady with. He's got guns. He's got weapons. Cannibal Claus maybe has a hatchet, at best. So I think Strauber's going to take Cannibal Claus, man.
Well, you also forgot the main thing.
What's that?
Mike Strauber's got a critical madness.
One of my favorite parts of Truth or Dare is the ending song. A critical madness.
Going places no one should ever go.
I think Tim Ritter is 100% embarrassed about that song, but he shouldn't be. And at the time, it was probably like, what the? This is terrible. Now it's amazing.
It adds a certain charm to it. It's so regional and they're genuine regional.
Yeah, and only if you think about back in the day, only higher budget movies had theme songs. Like Nightmare on Elm Street 3 had a theme song where they would that. They kind of stopped doing that. So to have a theme song in Truth or Dare is really kind of amazing, for a lower budget movie.
And also the fact that it's a church choir and they watch the movie.
Yeah,
there's 35 people die in this. They'd be
talk. He's the best producer of all time. I don't know how he talked those people into that. It's hey, here's what we want you to do.
Well, didn't he talk to those people into giving him a bunch of money when he was 19 years old to make Truth or Dare?
The story is, he made the production happen, and the producers he got on board didn't know how old he was until about midway through the project. So they kind of stole it from him, and they started trying to direct scenes and, take things away from him because I think he was only 18 when that movie was being made.
That's
so
crazy.
Got screwed over, yeah. But, he's got his name on it now.
Here we go.
We got Mike Strauber and the Hook generation are left, correct?
Those two are going to face each other. Now,
okay.
I had 7 names and I had one that I was iffy on. So
Okay.
I don't know how these two are going to meet. I'm just going to have to these two would never meet. It makes no fucking sense, but it is what it is. So this was actually, I asked Marcus, I was like, who would you think? And he suggested this one. And I didn't put this one in originally because I did not see the movie. But it's the Phantom from The Phantom of the Ritz.
He's the Phantom of the Ritz.
Oh, baby, you know what I like. The 50s were so great.
Oh, I've never seen that movie. We talk about it in my documentary, though.
Marcus is fucking steering me wrong. And he's gonna go. I thought you'd seen it. That's why he said, "I was like, what about?"
I'm familiar with that movie, but I've actually never seen it. I think one of our Florida friends, Rick Danford, which is a filmmaker down here, I think he was an actor or involved with that movie in some way, because I didn't hear about it until recently, so I've never seen it.
I think I have a laser disc or something sitting in here. I haven't had a chance to watch it either, so this was a little cop out on my fault. But then he's gonna face off against the Man-O-War from the William Grofé movie Sting of Death, the Jellyfish Man.
Wow. Well, this one's going to be hard for me because I don't know much about Phantom of the Ritz and Man-O-War. I think I saw that movie once, so I don't know, man. Like, I don't know who's gonna win that fight. You know, I mean, the Phantom is the Phantom of the Ritz. Are they like a ghost, or is it just like a person like Phantom of the Opera, and they live in a theater or something like that?
Ask Marcus Cook.
Well, Marcus, he screwed me over on this one, man.
He screwed me over.
I'm gonna tell you, like, this one's going to be a total guessing game. Let's just throw Phantom of the Ritz in, just because I want to see that happen, because I've never seen that movie.
Okay.
So make them the winner.
He takes out the Man of War Jellyfish Man.
There you go. Phantom of the Ritz does it again.
All right.
I don't think that movie's ever really gotten a great release, to be honest with you. I think it's kind of hard to find.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. This is a good one. So what we have here, I'm trying to think of how these two are going to meet. I don't fucking know. But, all right. They run into each other in a grocery store because one's going to get art supplies.
Okay. In a grocery store.
Adam Zorg from Color Me Blood Red, Herschel Gordon Lewis movie.
Okay.
And he runs into the madman Angus Lynch from Creep, played by Joel D. Wynkoop.
I want to be kind of biased on this one, but I think my pick is valid. Angus Lynch is going to win that fight, man. I mean, Color Me Blood Red. That's the artist. It's like coloring with blood.
Yeah, it's the Bucket of Blood.
Yeah. They never struck me as like I mean, obviously they're fucking crazy, but Angus Lynch is a different kind of, like a more violent kind of crazy, you know?
It's like a Carl Panzram.
Yeah, and Wynkoop, you know, especially in that movie, like, I think he was at his physical peak. Like, he was a good sized dude, and like, I would want to fight Wynkoop now. Like, he's have you ever gotten to meet Joel or no?
No, but I always watch his movies. I love his movies.
He's exactly, you know, I mean, well, not exactly. I mean, he's a pretty laid back guy, but he's got a very powerful presence. Like, he's a bigger guy, and he's just, you know, his voice like projects. Yeah, Angus Lynch is absolutely winning that fight, you know, for sure. I'd like to see Angus Lynch. Maybe it'll end up as Angus Lynch versus Mike Strauber. That'd be kind of fun.
Well, we don't know if that's going to happen. So the next fight is the Hook Generation versus Mike Strauber.
Ooh, well, you got multiple people versus one, but
he's a mad slasher.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm really kind of going with my heart just because I want to see this go this way. We're gonna go with Mike Strauber.
I mean, he also has killed numerous people. Didn't he use a machine gun in the first movie?
Yeah, he killed some people at a bus stop with a machine gun. Yeah, so he's got a gun.
He's got a gun. Insert David Cronenberg and Nightbreed. He's got a gun right there. Okay, then we got the Phantom of the Ritz. Versus Angus Lynch. Angus Lynch he's got some easy fights. He's fighting basically beating up artists.
Yeah, I mean, the Phantom is like a ghosty, you know, I don't know anything about this movie, but it doesn't sound like Mike Tyson to me. Angus Lynch is absolutely winning that fight.
Okay, so he beat up an opera ghost and a fucking painter.
Exactly.
Truth or Dare guy had to kill who'd he kill first? Cannibal Claus and then a gang.
Hook Generation. His fights are a little harder.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So the final fight, Mike Strauber versus Angus Lynch, Tim Ritter Battle Royal.
That's I would pay to see that. Like, that should be an event at MGM Grand in Vegas. And I am in. Okay, well, does Mike Strauber have his weapons, or it's just a straight up fist fight?
Well, I can't take his weapons away. No guns. They all have the rest of their weapons.
What of his character?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay, well, Angus he's not really much of a weapon wielder.
But he did eat that guy's cheeseburger.
Yeah, and I mean, he's pretty spry and he's kind of swift. I mean, if he can dodge the machine gun bullets, or
no machine gun.
No, okay, no machine gun.
Because the Hook Generation had the guns, so he needs his gun.
Okay.
But without it, you just can't have a guy with a gun and somebody without.
All right, so no machine guns, then yeah, Angus Lynch is going to win the fight against Mike Strauber.
Is he going to take his copper mask?
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's the Truth or Dare we never got.
He's like, I like that mask.
I've tried to talk to him, and at one point I think I was even on board to try to make something happen. I think I talked to Tim Ritter and Ron Bach about making Creep 2, but it didn't happen. But here's a little Easter egg. So a company, which I'm not going to name right now, they're going to be putting out a Death-Scort Service box set next year, possibly late this year, but probably most likely next year. And we're shooting a short film prequel to the original Death-Scort Service. And in that prequel is Winecoop's character. And Winecoop plays Angus Lynch in the Death-Scort movies. A lot of people didn't catch that. So it's kind of a mesh between Creep and Death-Scort Service with this prequel I'm planning to shoot. So that'd be kind of fun.
You can have some flashbacks.
We're going to do a little bit of both, but when I approached Winecoop with the role, he's like, well, Angus died and the hotel explodes at the end of the movie. I'm like, you came back.
Make him a zombie.
I thought about doing maybe we'll put, maybe I'll put a couple scars on him or something, but he didn't really die. He's fresh out of jail and he's in Death-Scort Service now, so
you gotta have him steal somebody's cheeseburger in it. That's the one where he goes up there and he grabs that dude's cheeseburger at the thing and just starts eating it, right?
I forgot about that. One thing that I do have that I'm really excited about it. So in most of the movie, he's wearing this Back to the Future style. You saw him in the 80s, this vest, like life preserver vest. I found one at a Goodwill, like the one that'll fit Winecoop. And in Creep, he's always wearing that thing. I'm like, this is awesome, So I think he had that and maybe a flannel on under it. I can't remember what kind. I think it's just a blue shirt, like a light blue shirt. So
I'm not telling you how to make the movie. I'm not telling you how to make the movie, but like other slasher movies, it would be really cool if he wandered in somewhere and he saw that and he just was he registered and he was just like, I have to have it, and he just goes in and takes it like he did the cheeseburger.
Yeah, maybe I'll have him.
You got to pay for it. He's like, I don't pay for nothing.
He could steal it. We're not doing it because it's a short film and it's super low budget, so we don't have a lot of locations. But I don't know. I might be able to make something like that work. That's kind of fun.
You can add that in after the shootout with the police officers and the helicopter crash. It'll be fine. You'll have enough money.
Right. So
what do you have going on
today?
We didn't learn anything.
We learned some stuff. We learned that there's movies that has 42nd Street in it that we're not sure about. We learned that we don't know.
We learned that we just assumed every New York movie with sleaze in it is 42nd Street.
Yeah, so I'll say this, your list, when I immediately, came up with the idea, my list was more similar to your list, but then I started kind of fine-tuning it because some of that stuff I researched and I was like, okay, 42nd Street isn't in this, it's not in that. So don't feel bad that, you didn't get more right.
Oh, I put a little. 3's good. 3's good for me. That's that's a good score. I'm happy with it. I put an asterisk. I put Driller Killer down there because I was like, maybe.
I'm not sure on that one. It's Abel Ferrara. I'll have to rewatch that one again.
But movie's so cheap, I don't imagine him leaving anywhere but the apartment, in an alleyway.
I feel that movie never got. I like grindhousey movies, but that one's really grainy, and it's always kind of taken me out of it. It's it's too grainy.
Oh shit! Have you ever seen A Gun for Jennifer?
No.
Is that movie in New York? I feel like it is. That movie's fucking awesome.
I don't know.
Real gritty.
A Gun for Jennifer. Never heard of it.
It's great. It's the one that, when people say a movie that's never been released, that's my number one go-to. That you got to see A Gun for Jennifer.
Huh. All right. Let's check that one out.
Yeah, but you got anything? You got your the Blood and Sunshine and Blood, Guts, and Sunshine coming out. It's the bigger release.
So the deal with that one is, our Indiegogo ended, and then I shipped out the copies and everything. So a bigger company, which I can't name right now, has picked it up, and they're going to be doing a much larger release in July, is what they said. So I'm really excited about it because it's a company we're all familiar with, and
Walmart.com.
No, it's not them. It's cool. I'll tell you after the fact if you're curious. But I know for sure they're going to reach a bigger audience than I am. So that's always my goal with that movie. I didn't make that to try to make a bunch of money on it or whatever. I was like, I want people to see this so they can learn about a lot of these directors and actors that have made this stuff out of Florida, because a lot of people just don't know about that stuff.
There's a lot too. We just named a bunch. We have William Grafay, Term Ritter, Marcus Cook, yourself. Hell, the Creature from the Black Lagoon was filmed in Florida.
We talk about that one. Yeah. In fact, there's so much that after we did the documentary, through the course of doing it, we learned about more. We have enough material that we can make a sequel. There's so much stuff that we missed. You know, like the movie Frogs that was shot down here. Jaws 3 was shot down here. Like there's all kinds of stuff, man. So
yeah, so you got that. I'm sure you're working on like 3 or 4 more movies too, right?
I got the test copy on me. This is going to be I can't show you too much of it because there's a lot of. It's the Sushii double feature.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I want to kind of pre-warn people on that one. I wouldn't even really say it's a movie. You know, it's along the lines of like a Playboy Playmates pictorial video.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of fun nevertheless. I mean, I had fun making it, and I did a little 10-15 minute how to gore video I put on there where I show people how to make just cheap, cheesy gore if people are into that. So, you know, something to entertain you for an hour.
Nice.
So.
You had a good list, man, and it helps. Like, I'm waiting for like my friend or a director to get on here that I love it, but they're gonna give me like something like 50s musicals, and I'm gonna be like, I'm like, not that I hate them, it's just I don't know shit about them.
I wanted to do. I mean, I could have went that far out of the box, but I wanted to do at least something that I'm interested in too. You know, I'm not gonna be like, 10 favorite movies about opera or something. You know?
Yeah, those are definitely the kind of list I'm looking for. Like, not necessarily like they have to be a little bit more specific because over time, you know, there's gonna be too many repeats. Like, I can't wait for people to be like, my top 5 favorite, like top 5. It's secret top 10. They're like 5. I'm like, what? But you know what I mean. Like, I like the little crazy stuff like that because it can be broad. You could be like, my top 10 favorite performances by a drunk actor. Any fucking thing. Like that would be fun.
Asbestos Felt in Killing Spree.
There you go. He could have been in the tournament.
I had a drunk actor, Bianca Barnett in Die Die Delta Pi.
Yeah.
But her performance wasn't good. But still, you know, drunk actor.
Not everybody can be Oliver Reed.
You know. So, well, dude, this has been fun, man. You know, have me back. The next time you do something different, I'm totally into it. And thanks for having me on your show, man.
Thanks for doing it. I really appreciate it. We had a lot of fun.
Man. Hopefully, I see you sooner than later at Wasteland or something.
I'll be at Wasteland. You?
I'm not going to make this next one, unfortunately, but I might make the October one. There's a, you know, good possibility.
All right. Well, I'll see you then.
Oh yeah, man. Check you later.
Florida's got something in the water.
The whole idea is they don't quite know what we're doing. They just know we're having a heck of a good time, and they are having a heck of a good time.
The Uh-Oh Show.
There's something creepy about it. There's something raw about it, primitive.
It incorporated what Florida is known for: alligators, snakes, a tropical setting.
There's gonna be no snakes in there. No snakes.
I think I do have a beautiful body, and I keep it right over here.
The horror movie that turned you into horror.
It was called Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare with Madonna?
Not the Madonna film.
Okay.
Especially when you're shooting 12 days straight. Many days were 16 to 20, 24-hour days.
Objection overruled.
I've never seen so much of it in one place. Blew my mind. It blew everybody's mind.
I was naked. She, of course, was naked.
The set was so wild. It was just so much fun.
Now that's how you do it.
It is a flavor of its own, and it's well worth checking out.
Oh shit.